Just getting this all set up, you guys. Give it a couple minutes and let a couple more people show up. Of course, my one computer keeps coming up that I've got an error. The only problem with setting up these live streams is you can't really do it beforehand. Okay, so I think I got that. Now I just need a pair of glasses put on. And of course, I could always say, "G'day, my railroaders." Now that I'm finally here and it's 7:01. So we got Rail Fan Center. So good day to you. Jennifer White, Bruce, Peter. Make sure you're doing a good job today doing the moderating stuff. UP4204. There we go. Now it's working. Yeah, and we got the chat up and running now too. That's kind of a big thing. I want that chat up during my live streams, or it kind of takes away from the whole thing, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Scrumptious Model Trains, hi, how are you? I've probably missed a few people while I was checking back and forth. So, I'm going to start these Wednesday night shows with basically the same question every week. Does anybody have anything out there that they want to talk about that they're having problems with on their layout? And then we'll wait a couple minutes and say hi to a few more people like AZ Crash Granny. AZ Crash Granny, that's your new name, I think. I like it. Geneva, how are you? Railfan555, I was planning a layout for a friend on my Atlas track planner when the live show started. Oh, well, I guess that could be a problem. As long as you saved it before you came over, you should be alright. See, I've never used a track planner or anything. I'm one of these type of people, I just throw the track down and where it goes, it goes. I've got a picture in my head. That's how I want my layout to look. And then you just kind of mold the track into your picture and go from there. And then, of course, you got to add some switches and stuff every once in a while, too. Jennifer White, hi Sparky, did you enjoy the train show? I did enjoy the train show. And that's pretty much one of our first topics that we're going to talk about. And Railfan555, I'm glad you saved it. JJ Gravy, love Atlas Track Planner. That's what I'm doing right now. So lots of people use the track planner. Why? That would be my question for you guys. Talking about the track planner is why. You have your room. You know that it's, say, 10 by 6. You know where you can put your wood for your layout, like your bench work. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you want to do. So why wouldn't you just write it down on a piece of paper and scribble some lines on it and then go from there? And then make it work. CSX Mad, how are you doing? Oh, my head as well. Fly by the seat of your pants. That's the way I kind of look at it. And I don't know if I lean forward like this if my head's actually in it. Speaking of which, seat of my pants. Because it's free, well, so is a piece of paper if you just draw on it. Okay, I'm here. 2448 Toyman. How are you doing? Nice that you could stop by. And Jennifer White, yes, it's a small room, 10 by 5, but I'm just using it as an example, so. That's one good reason. So Peter says if you use a track planner, it helps you make sure that everything fits and flows and good track work. But the thing I'm thinking of is when you go to your hobby store and you've got your track planner set out for the Atlas turnouts and everything else, and then all of a sudden you have to buy Shannara or some other turnout, then it doesn't fit properly. So then what do? You got to go back to the track planner? Nancy Jones, hi, how are you? Nice that you could stop in. Only your mouth is showing. Well, that's good. Looks weird. I could go like this, I guess. Joe G, how are you doing, buddy? You get that shed done yet? Guess I got to start reading the proper chat here, too. There. I'm actually reading that. Okay, so if I sit back, maybe you can see my head. Maybe. I'm not sure. Because my one screen that's still telling me that I've got an error. So, I don't know. I'm starting to give up on this 3-computer screen thing. Joe G says he's too anal retentive to write it down on paper. I need a CAD system. See, to me, a CAD system would take too long, though. I use SCAR for my track planner. And I use it just to build layouts with unlimited space and track. And that was from UP4204. See, and I tried that Scram program, too, and trying to get it manipulated to the right size and then get your bench work all put in there, and I kind of hit delete on that and got a piece of paper out. To me, it's just faster. At one time, Professor Grimm, g'day Mark, nice to see you in here. At one time, you could purchase a template stencil that had turnouts, curved radius, crossings, and all that other good stuff. That a boy, Joe, planning is key to great layout. Robert Sacco, how are you? Railfan 555. I would use any rail, but I spent all my money on trains. So in other words, any rail costs you money. New Haven Rails. How are you doing, Ron? Good evening, sir. And with that, you guys can keep talking about planning your layouts and stuff, but with New Haven Rails saying good evening, Sparky, I just wanted to bust right in there and say I went to the Amherst train show in Springfield. Many of you guys know that already. I do have, I think, 4 videos up so far. I took about 130 videos, I think it was, 140 videos at the train. Got some of the building. I did the layouts, and there was 32 videos I took of the layouts. One thing I'm going to speak of the layouts at Amherst was just wow. That's about all you can really say. And you walk in, and these layouts, I bet you, are sitting anywhere from 100 to 200 feet long and 50 to 150 feet wide. And some of them are zigzag back and forth, so you can walk in and out of the modules, and there were so many of them, and they were just big and huge and so well done. And wow, what more can you say? That's Sparky Joe. He flies by the seat of his pants, and I missed some of the chat. Uh-oh. How do you know it fits correctly with paper and pencil? It's rough estimate. And then you just kind of do your track plan to that rough estimate. We're still talking about that, aren't we? I could always talk about Amherst in a minute. So, I used to know Whitney Towers and had the pleasure of operating on his railroad, the Lone Pine Railroad. He designed his railroad on paper. See that? He designed it on paper to scale, where the paper clip was a 4-inch boxcar. I kind of like that idea. I want cheap pencil, eraser, calipers, draw right on the wood. Yeah, you can kind of do that too. Or you can go one step farther if anybody's got the Bachman track, like I said in my one show. You just take the Bachman track and lay it down, copy it. Go from there. Bachman does have like the Easy Track is everything now. They've got every turn radius you can think of, every turnout you can think of. They got crossovers. They got wide. They got. I don't think they have wides yet. So, Container Man. If you only use pencil and paper, you need to switch templates. Make sure that your easements all flow right. Computer programs calculate. Yeah, but that's if you're good with the computer. What if you're not good with the computer? I can't even turn on an ESU controller. So, I give up. Well, my one computer screen says I'm live. So this must be working. Ha ha ha. Right? So, like I said, you guys can keep talking about that if you want, but the videos that I got at Amherst, and I do have to say that I'm getting all stuffed up. My fan's going. You guys can probably hear that, right? Turn that off. Maybe that makes the chat a little bit quieter. I just got to open up the window and freeze my feet. So, first off, if you haven't been to the Amherst Train Show, go. Make it a family trip. Spend some time in New York or Boston. Springfield's not that big, but the Southern 207 Hobbies. Good day, sir. How are you? Great news. I got my van fixed. That's awesome. Should have got it fixed before the weekend, and then you could have went to Amherst. All of Chuck Baker's River Valley Railroad did it on paper. You guys are still talking about that. That does always work. Call tech on the ESU. I got something better, Container Man, for the ESU. I do believe next week I'm going to have a guest show up for my live show, and he is going to play with my ESU system while I figure out what else to talk about. See if he can get it working. G'day, Zane. How are you doing? Wow, this is a big topic. I could have probably just done the whole show on this. And my chair swivels, so I'm not going to. I'll just keep moving around so I can read the chat. Anyway. I see you, Jack Jack. I don't see Jack Jack. Where's Jack Jack? Yeah, I got to turn that down, too. I'm hearing myself. There we go. Jack Jack's in the room. Good day, sir. How are you doing? I've heard a couple people talking about you ripping up your layout again. Starting again. So you're a prime example. Are you writing it down? Are you using computer programs to do your stuff? I still haven't even seen your name on there, so I'm not even sure if you're in here. So Robert Sacco says he's redoing his bench work, making it module because we might be moving within 8 years. Well, that's you can't plan like that, can you? 8 years? I could be moving tomorrow if my house, well, I'm not even going to say stuff like that, but nobody knows when you're going to be moving. All kinds of circumstances come involved with that. Even your job could have you be moving tomorrow. But personally, I hope I'm not moving at all. So, because when they built my addition and they put the basement in first, did the main floor, I had them put in all the wood, and then they built the floor over it, so my wood's not coming out. I got 4x8 sheets of plywood down there, and it's stuck there. So whoever buys this house after I'm done with it, they better like trains. So, lean in here and see what I can see. Ryan, I lost it. But Ryan said he went to the show. Then I missed part of the comment there. Trainman 46. Seems to be a few people here anyway. This is what I like about the chat being on the screen. I don't have to talk or do anything. You guys can just keep the show going. That's perfect. I'm working. Joe G's working on Firehouse Whiskey boxcars. That's awesome. What about tractor trailers, or is that a secret? Maybe I shouldn't have said anything there. And again, I've missed some of the chat, but Peter's saying solder feeder wires to each piece of track. And I don't agree with that. Go every 3 to 6 feet. As long as your solder joints are good, you should be all right. Take it from an electrician. Electricity flows. It doesn't need a piece of wire stuck up here and a piece of wire stuck up here and a piece of wire stuck up here to do a single piece of metal. Run some trains, Sparky. Maybe later, Matt. Got a couple other things. Right now we're talking about track planning. And I was kind of talking about the Amherst show and telling everybody that's here, 32 of you, if you haven't been to the Amherst show, go. Telling you. Springfield, again, not that big of a place. But Boston's pretty close. New York's pretty close. Just the drive down I-90. Like, Ron and I left my house at, I think it was 10:30 at night, so it was pitch black out. Crossed over the border. We got right on the I-90, which incidentally is a toll road. And if you're Canadian, don't get too scared at the word toll road, because by the time I was done the drive, it was $18. Woohoo! Who can't afford $18 to drive straight down a highway? But pitch black all the way there. We got there about 6:30 in the morning, pulled into the parking lot, and there we sat for, well, till 9. But the I-90, take it during the day. It has some awesome mountains. Slate, marble, iron. There is just, the scenery is beautiful. And like watching a movie with an old western town, single road, houses on their stores and stuff on both sides. It's got it. You're driving down there and all of a sudden you look down to the right, down in the valley, and there's one road and a whole pile of houses. Looked awesome. So I-90, take it. Get there. Next year, Amherst, go. Make plans. Take the family. Make a trip out of it. Take the weekend. Make it a week. Who knows? I might even take my wife next year if she wants to go. And I don't know. We might do the New York thing. So, but get into the show, and you guys have seen some of my videos. They had that train outside. That was pretty cool. But I got lots of videos. You guys seen all the layouts. But I got some vendors. Some of their new products that are coming out. A lot of vendors with craftsman kits, wood kits. I didn't really pay attention much to plastic kits, so but some of the wood kits, the videos I got of that are just phenomenal and done so well. And then they put the little detail pieces on the side of them, and then you look at the price of them and go, wow, $300 for a garage, and it's got cars and people and wrenches sitting on a bench. Like, that's how much detail was in an HO scale building. And like I said, I've got video of that. I'll probably put it up tomorrow or the next day. Met a lot of people there. Wish I would have met a lot more, but I got to plan that out. So maybe next year I'll actually say, maybe at 11 o'clock I'm going to be at such and such a doorway or something. Or, I don't know. We'll think of something, but make it so we can all meet up. Not just me meeting you, but you guys meeting everybody else too. I'm pretty sure. Like, I want to meet quite a few people, so I'm pretty sure some of you guys want to too. NMRA in Kansas City this year. Come on down, Sparky. Why, are you going to that, Container Man? Because I'm thinking about it, but it's not in stone yet. That's in November, isn't it? So I got some really cool shots. The one thing that really hit me at Amherst, like I said, was all the layouts and the size of it. There wasn't, I'm hearing the stories of 30, 40, 50,000 people showing up at these shows, but then I think the total for the 2 days was like 15,000 people. So I don't know what rumors I was hearing about 30, 40, 50,000 people, but does the Amherst show travel to the U.S.? The Amherst show is in the U.S. It is in Springfield, Massachusetts. If I said that right, probably not, because I've got an accent that's Canadian. And that's what I'm going to use. But no, every year they're in Springfield, Nancy. That's it. That's the only show that is called the Amherst Show. But it is worth the time. It's worth the trip. What else did I get? I got buildings, favorites, videos of stuff. But there was one vendor there, and I had the money, but I just couldn't part with it. You know, it was stuck in my pocket. It was 2 feet high, maybe a foot and a half wide. It was the front end of a Conrail. Well, it was many locomotives, but I'll say Conrail to begin with. So it was like you were looking at the front of an engine. It was like an ES-44. Had the mirrors out the side, and it was lit. So the lights, you could turn them on and off. $260. And it was made all of wood. It was 3D, but it hung on your wall. I wanted one so bad. I just I sat there and I drooled. I took lots of video of it. And I drooled some more. And Ron Perry, he got talking to the 2 people that make them. And got their business card and a little bit of information. So maybe, just saying maybe, well, you never know. Maybe he can get a deal with them or something. I don't know. Caught some trains before the show at 5 a.m. and then we went to the show. Total was $17,200. Thanks, Ryan. One thing I did learn about the Amherst show, there's a restaurant right across the street. Don't go to it. I got pretty much their big breakfast. So it was 3 eggs, piece of ham that was about yay big. I asked for sausage patties, and I got sausage links. Home fries that looked like somebody stepped on them and then mushed them right into the burner, so they were all like charred on one side. 4 pieces of toast that, I don't know, I think they were from last week, but I'm not going to say the name of the restaurant, but it's across the street from the building. Go somewhere else for breakfast. Go to McDonald's. Friendly's is right down the street. If you just keep going past it, hang a right, Friendly's is right there. So, Lego, I just put the video up of that. What you can do with Lego is just, I should have asked more questions about it because I'm not sure how that stuff would work. Is it battery powered when you just flip a switch and it goes? I don't know. But the buildings that they did, there was a skyscraper there that was 6 feet high, made out of Lego. And I don't know, it must be my age. I'm looking at that skyscraper and I just kept thinking, how many pieces and how much money is that? Lego is not cheap up here in Canada. I don't know about the States, but up here, we've got a Lego store in Cambridge. And I don't know, you get a little box that's got a car and a guy in it. That's it. Maybe a total of 27 pieces in it. And it's like $23. Wow. So I can just imagine what that building was. I don't travel. The security at the airport would tear my wheelchair apart. Well, Nancy, beat him with your cane. That's all I got to say about that. Ralph Greenwood. Dang, Sparky, you got a lot of mods. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I got 6. And I don't expect them all to be here at once, but it kind of seems like most of them are. Haven't seen Vinny up there yet. Somebody wake him up. McDonald's has good hash browns. Yes, they do. That's the one thing I like about McDonald's is they can't screw up breakfast. I don't think, anyway. Even their hotcakes are all right. I don't know. They're kind of thin. Yes, battery powered with wireless handheld controllers, RC-like. So they're like the ESU system? Great. I can't even play with Lego. Thanks, Peter. You just wrecked that whole stuff. Trainman 46. Man, I used to be into Legos. Super expensive. I was when I was a kid, but I kind of got out of that more. I was more into the fishing and hiking, believe it or not. Ron asked me, did you pick up any new rolling stock or engines at the show? Well, I purchased 3 things at the show. Like I said, I went down there more in mind and in tune to meeting people. And I did meet quite a few, and for some reason, why is it when you meet somebody, and maybe Evansville's here too, I'm not sure, I haven't seen his name flying around because I haven't really been looking at the screen, but why is it when you meet somebody and you get talking to them, you forget that you're holding onto a camera? I did, completely. Sparky, what was your reaction to the G-scale logos? Yeah, they were all right. I've got a big backyard. I'm kind of thinking that I'd like to get into G-scale. The track is expensive, so So I was talking to a couple dealers down there, and I got talking about the track and the starter sets that you can get. Basically, the starter sets for the G-scale stuff. The train itself is nothing but garbage. It's all plastic, but it's a good way to get started with the track. Unfortunately, it's not a lot of track. You can probably put it on a 4x8 layout. So, and I don't know why I start this live stream and stuff, and I get all stuffed up. CSX Rail Rider Rabby. Trains made from Lego, just nothing but somebody's way to make both items more expensive. Yeah, that could be. I do remember Lego had trains when I was growing up, and it was put the batteries in it, had a little flip switch on the bottom, and it was probably twice the price. So, Professor Grimm says you should plan a trip to go to Train Mountain for their, I can't read that word, Triennial. If you don't know what Train Mountain is, you need to look it up on YouTube. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Well, hold on, I'll do better than remember it. I'll write it down. Train Mountain. I had to write that down to remember Train Mountain. Right on. I will look that up. I want to do an outdoor O-scale. Is O-scale good for outdoors? I guess, well, you get rain there, not very much. It just kind of evaporates before it hits the ground, but I don't know if O-scale would be good outside. I have never asked that question. Oh, because I opened the window, I'm getting the snuffies? Maybe. But right here is not cold, just my feet. The way I have it kind of going, I opened 2 windows so it circulates a little bit. So, O-scale is GFW Trains. That's a new name for me to say. Hello, how are you, GFW Trains? And just so you guys know, there's a subscribe button somewhere around here. Hit it. Subscribe to my channel if you're not already. The other thing is, when you're watching the chat go by, in the white screen that is, there's 3 dots to the right of people's comments. If you go to those 3 dots, it'll take you to their channel, and then you can subscribe to people there too. So, Scrumptious Model Trains, go to Northlands. Haha, easy. Train Granny, I would take Amtrak. Or a bus. Amtrak would be faster. So, hard to read the chat and do a show. I'm telling you right now. Not in the rain. It wouldn't. No, I wouldn't think O-scale would be good there either. Can you show us what you got at the show? Okay, Matt. I guess I can do that. One thing I kindly showed already, and I can't see that screen because it's behind the other screen, but I'm starting to get into the train signs. I've got a couple already. Container Man gave me one. There was Conrail, and I bought another one, but now I'm going to put this on my door. Is it right? Yeah, now it's probably right. You guys could have corrected me there. So, got one sign to go on my door. And I think that's kind of fitting. I model railroad, so why not, right? Kind of looks like it's weathered already. Get it a little bit closer. But it was in plastic and it was brand new. And I got a little bit of work to do on it because I don't know if you guys can see that, but a little piece broke off on the back. That'd be a hell of a metal sliver. So I got a sign. And I wasn't into buying locomotives or cars or anything when I was down there because I can get that stuff when I'm up here and not have to pay border fees and so on and so forth. But Exact Rail, I walked past this. Container Man, $2. Ha, hold on. I wasn't ready for that. I love this light. Container Man, everybody go check him out. He just posted a video about 45 minutes ago on his layout. and a mail call and a little bit of traveling. So, DCC Train, how are you, buddy? So, here we got, I walked past this guy's booth, Exact Rail's booth, about 4 times. And because my mother has cancer, like I said, I wasn't going down there to pick up any cars or anything else, but this one really jumped out at me. Oh. And the train load comes out. And then it's got some extra parts you can put down in there, I guess, little cross bracings. So, put that back in there. That's not bad. Kind of fits down there pretty good. But Exact Rail had this hopper on, and it's on track for the cure, and it's a cancer car. So after walking past it 4 times, I finally went over, and it's like, yeah, I gotta buy that. It was $44. So I think $44 is a pretty good price for an Exact Rail car anyway. And like I said, it's got meaning to me. And what I'm gonna do with this car now is I'm going to take it up to my mom, and I'm going to get her to sign this side of it with her name and her birth date. And then later on, I'm going to put a little plaque on the side of it and put another date on there that we're not going to talk about. But I'm going to use this car just to kind of, well, it's to my mom. Simple as that. And it'll be a piece of my mom on my layout forever. Just like I've got the other hopper cars. Oh, if I can get them. Just like I had these ones done by Peter. He did a great job. Container Man, what's the name of the group? But Container Man, kind of a lot of people that helped me out with my flood, so we went out and got a bunch of these rainbow cars and started the Rainbow Club, I guess we called it. So Peter did one up for me with some graffiti on it, and there's a lot of the names of the people that helped out, and there was quite a few more, but I wouldn't give them the names of the people from PayPal. So that's one hopper I got, and then this one, like I said, I'm going to do a tribute to my mother, I guess. And forever and ever, she'll be part of what I got going on. So that's the other thing I got. Now, I would have went to Amherst all by myself because I already had it put in my head that I was going to go. So I asked a few friends if they could go, and only one could. And I can understand that. Like, everybody's got families and a life and jobs and everything else. And so Ron Perry went with me. And he's just another scale modeler. And I kind of like the fact that he went with me because he knows a lot of the retailers. And I got to talk to a lot of them in person and meet them and see their products up close and get lots of information. But one of the other people that he knew was a very famous artist. So I wrote down something. You guys can write this down. Michael Paul Smith. He's a large-scale photographer. He does large-scale models of trains, cars, garages, trees, and he does just amazing work. I've looked him up after I got home, and I've seen some of the videos. He does it on Flickr, I think it's called. And he just takes a normal everyday camera, he does a diorama up, and he takes pictures, and he's done pictures for Lionel and a few other people that he didn't really discuss too much, but famous is all I knew. And again, Michael Paul Smith. The guy knows Ron Perry really good. He's a patron to Ron Perry. I gave Ron Perry the ride down there to meet this guy in person, and the guy appreciated it so much that he gave me some of his artwork. So hopefully that's in the screen for you guys. But this is a model. and he does the dioramas outside, so it's all natural light. But all of it is just that. It's all model, except for the trees are in his backyard, and the sky is the real sky. Oh, the picture finally caught up to me. So, oh, and it's a little off screen. I gotta go that way, I think. Oh, it was on screen. Never mind, I put it back. So I was just tickled pink. And on the back of it, it's kind of personalized. It says, "For Dave." And again, I just gave Ron Perry a ride down there. This guy didn't have to do anything for me, but he did. And he signs all his work. So the picture is, I'm looking at the wrong screen now, but the picture, and then it's got the outer frame work around it. This is a piece of paper too, or cardboard or something. But he signs all his work underneath on the picture, and then it's just covered up. So if you really want to see his signature, I'd have to take it all apart, and I'm not going to do that. But this, to me, is just priceless. It's just some of his work, and one of the videos I went through, just another scale modeler, so that's Ron Perry. On his channel, I think it was March 17th of 2017, he actually does an interview with this guy, and this picture was actually part of that interview. So I'm just tickled pink. That's all I got to say. Wow, nice, says Nancy. Jennifer White says, wow. Have you seen Rapido's new video of the RDC? No, I have not. Scrumptious. That's one cool picture of a fantastic model. Thank you, Peter. I love it. Like, this is, like I said, this is priceless. So, and yes, this is a model. It's a large scale, so I would think that's more like the O scale type stuff. But the cars, the building, all the stuff on the bench and everything, that's all model. So that right there made that trip just amazing for me. That's how I know where Friendly's is. He took us there for lunch and bought us lunch. And we just sat there, and just the most humble guy. Just talks to you like normal. Not, that's just it. Just sit there and shoot the crap with the guy. And lots to talk about. He had lots of stories to tell. But anyway, that was my highlight of the Amherst show. I also met Bill Graham. That's another guy that I met. Evansville I met down there. I met Ron. It was kind of funny. I was walking around one layout, and if you guys have seen my video, I do the one of the cattle ranch, and they're doing the cattle down the road, walking them down type thing, the old Western style. And this gentleman comes up behind me. He's on the other side, so he's running a train. And he's like, "Sparky, I watched your channel." And I'm like, "Huh? Oh, hi, how are you?" And we got talking, and I bet you I spent a good half hour talking to this gentleman, to the point where we're walking as we're talking, but we're slowly walking. So now he's slowed his train down because he has to keep an eye on it. Well, because he slows his train down, now everybody who's coming up behind him, they all have to stop and wait for him. So that's why the conversation only lasted about a half hour, because after that it was like, "Hey, get going. You're holding us all up." So that was pretty cool. I talked to Chris over at Atherton. That was kind of a fun conversation, all about what's neat this week. With Ken Patterson. Ken Patterson wasn't there though, but Chris was, so that was kind of a cool chat. Met a few other people that just, "Hi, how are you" type thing, and off we went. I'm bad with names. That's horrible. It was just the whole weekend just bleh. It was a blur. Like I said, we got there at 6:30 in the morning. We stayed until about 4 o'clock, 3:30, 4 o'clock. Got back to the hotel room. We went out and had something to eat at Sonic. I'm not a Sonic fan. I'm going to tell you that right now. Don't get the burgers. I just didn't like the burger. So, matzo sticks were good though. And get back to the room, I'd say about 7:30. We were both out cold. And woke up the next day about 8 o'clock. Ready to go back to the show that opened at 10. So, 124 or 125th scale. Thanks, Jennifer. So is that O scale? Because I'm not quite sure what O scale is. Whatever happened to the wood model you were building? I knew somebody was going to bring that up. It's right there. And there it is. I just got to cut the roof down a little bit, get it to fit. Believe it or not, this thing says you can make this building in like so many different ways. And the way I built it, this way, is the only way the roof doesn't fit. So I have to actually put it on there, and there's a piece that sticks out here that I have to cut off. And then the piece that I cut off here actually has to go over here. So, but due to working 5/8 and going to visit my mom, trying to get my layout done, and now I'm doing these live streams on Wednesdays, which is kind of cool. I kind of like these. They're fun. I haven't had time to do this. So I am going to do it. I just got to find about a half hour to do the roof, and then we can get back to it. So somebody just had to ask about that. Scratch building is very boring. Buy a kit. Now, Zane, you're doing scratch builds on your layout. How could you say that? I think you got 2 buildings, don't you? Sparky, come to the Amherst Train Club show in Kitchener. It's HO scale, and I'll be there with my stuff. Matt, send me an email. Send me some information, or you can privately message me here in YouTube. You just got to go up to my About section on my homepage, and you can send me a message through there. They need a Tim Hortons. Who does? Okay, so no, that's HO. Yes, my building was HO. Is that right, guys? Holy jumping, I must have missed a lot. Eric, how are you doing? Just seeing you in there because I've been busy chatting to the camera instead of looking at the screen. And every 15 minutes I was supposed to say, hey, somebody hit the super chat. Container Man already did for a couple bucks. Got the big light going. It's kind of loud too. Come on, Pops, where are you? Throw up that super chat. Give it back to me. Okay. So, that's pretty much what I had. If I can get this back on the rails. That's not bad. You guys want to see something really ugly? That's the coupler all the way. That's like way over there.